Thanks for your company. The details now. MP for Dododio Lante van der Poel is accusing some operatives of the National Security Secretariat of brutalizing him. The former sports minister says the two operatives, accompanied by 10 others, attacked him in front of the Jamestown police station, where he had gone to secure bail for a journalist who had been arrested while working for him. Mr. van der Poel tells Joy News he had deployed the journalist to take pictures of some projects he had undertaken in his constituency. Hearing of the arrest troubled him, causing him to head to the police station to intervene. He alleges that on arrival, some 12 persons, some of whom had guns on their sides, approached him and hit him in the chest. According to him, they asked him to leave the area and proceeded to slap him and punch him in the face. He's been recounting the incident to Joy News' Joseph Akabley.
Tell the police why they did that, what I did wrong, and the police were able to tell us why they arrested my cameraman, who has gone to just take a picture of a project I am undertaking for the people. I am sad, but I'm not broken. I'm still strong. I know I have a God who liveth, and I know the teaming supporters of the NDC, my constituency, and the chiefs and people of the area are solidly behind me. Because yesterday, when the incident happened, without any call, then thousands of people who poured out at that time of the night followed up to the police station, from the police station to the hospital, and even some of them wanting to follow me to the house. It's enough encouragement to me.
So you have the MP for Odododio Lante van der Poel recounting that incident to my colleague Joseph Akabley. Joseph joins us on the line. Joseph, so what more has the MP been telling you?
And so the project that he had gone to inspect, or had asked that photographs be taken, it's a slaughterhouse which he says he had used his MP's common fund to rehabilitate, and that as part of his measures of accounting to the people, he's decided that he wants to take shots and compile a green book for the constituents to show the projects he has undertaken in that area. And so he asked the gentleman to go over to take the pictures. The gentleman says when he arrived there, another person whom he claims to be a former assembly member for the area approached the gentleman and asked him to leave the area, and subsequently caused his arrest. And so he said he had been trying to communicate with the police officers at the station where the gentleman had been kept via phone, but because he wasn't yielding much, he decided to go over to the police station himself to intervene in the evening. It was on arrival that he says just when he arrived, he heard some noise outside. He came out of the police station. That was when the men approached him, hit him in the chest, punched him in the face, and slapped him as well. He says the police officers who were inside the station rushed out and intervened, and because there were a lot of people gathered in front of the police station, they called for reinforcement, and by the time the additional police and military men who came over had arrived, the men who assaulted him had fled the scene. He also alleges that his vehicle, a V8 vehicle, was completely damaged. The tires were deflated, as well as some parts of it were hit with various implements. And so the car, he says, is damaged and is at the police station currently.
All right. Joseph, does he tell you on what basis he says these people who attacked him are national security operatives?
I asked him that. He said he actually knows them. In fact, he mentioned some of them by names. He says these are individuals who are in the constituency whom he knows. He claims two of them say they work with the National Security Secretariat, and they actually carry arms, and so there are people that he knows in the constituency. And he further alleges that these are individuals who engage in violence, especially during the registration exercise. And so he's reported the matter to the police station, and he expects arrest to be effected. He intends to also take it up with the leadership of Parliament because as a member of Parliament, he believes his privileges have been violated.
Joseph, finally, before you go, just a bit on where he came out of the police station and was attacked. He was attacked unprovoked. Is that what it is? He didn't even engage.
The gentleman just walked towards him, and they asked him, what does he want here?
Okay.
And they hit him on the chest and told him to move away from here. Then they slapped him and punched him in the face. He said it was unprovoked. He never said anything to them. He has not done anything to them. He doesn't know why they would want to attack him.
I know I said finally, but just let me ask this one before you go. What degree of injuries did he sustain?
The most visible we can see from my own observation is on the right side, his right eye, just underneath the right eye. There's a bit of a swell. It's on the left eye, actually, the left eye. There's a bit of a swell around the cheek area, very close to the eye. It's a bit of a swell. He tells me that it was a bit higher, but because of the medicine that he was given yesterday in the hospital, it's much better. He tells me also that he feels pain in his chest where he was hit in the chest. And so he has received treatment and he's much better now, but he's hoping that the individuals who perpetrated the attack could be arrested.
All right. Thank you very much. Joseph Ackah-Blay has been speaking to MP for Dodo Diodone Nante van der Poel, who was attacked yesterday. According to him, he had tried to secure bail for a camera person who was taking footages of a project he had embarked on in the community. But we are joined by NPP parliamentary candidate for that same constituency, Neil Lante Bannerman. He seems to have a different account. Thank you for joining us, sir. What do you have to say about this incident?
Good morning, and thank you so much for the opportunity. I would want to say that in the first place, I would wish to condemn the attack on the MP on certain terms. I don't think any, for that matter, any leader or anybody deserves to be attacked physically. If anybody has issues, then for you to address your issues. Personal attacks and violent attacks, people.
Hello, Mr. Bannerman. Unfortunately, your line is breaking up a lot. Can you, if you can, reposition yourself so we can hear you clearly?
Can you hear me now?
Much better.
Can you hear me now?
It's much better, sir. Please continue with your submission.
What I'm saying is that I condemn the attack on the MP.
Okay.
In no uncertain terms. I don't think that anybody who has issues with another person should resort to any acts of violence against that person. And I also would want to put on record that this has nothing to do with NDC MPP. From the information I'm picking now, in fact, the thing happened yesterday around 11 p.m. thereabouts. At the time when I had, in fact, I was asleep already. Yesterday, after my house-to-house program and my group meetings, I slept very early around 9:30 p.m. I woke up this morning to see a lot of calls on my phone. I was asked to monitor a particular radio station, I think Peace FM, and I heard the MP thing. So I also had to go back and verify and to know what exactly happened.
So what exactly did you gather, sir?
What I gathered was that the MP was on Power FM around 10 p.m., alleging that one of his boys had been arrested at the police station, and all calls to the police to release the boy had proved futile. So he was moving from the radio station to the police station to release the boy by himself. And the people that he had mentioned as assaulting him, please, I would want you to place a call back to the MP. This has nothing to do with NPP, NDC. These are boys that he had trained and used from 2012 till now.
Well, let me just interrupt and make this clear. The MP has not, at least speaking to us, mentioned MPP and NDC in this matter. All he did say was to accuse these people or allege that they are national security operatives. So I don't know why you are making reference to MPP and NDC. If you heard that somewhere, fine. Yes, but he didn't say that on our platform.
Fine. So let me talk to the issues the way you have put it. I have heard him mention names on Peace FM. And I'm also on the platform in the constituency on which he is also. And he has mentioned the same names. And I'm telling you that whatever names come up, ask the man who these boys are, who trained them, who got them to be violent the way they are. And what I'm saying is that those boys have defected from the NDC to the NPP. All we are pleading with them is that anything that they have, whatever scores are there to settle with the MP, they should hold on.
So do you know these? So do you know these men? Do you know the men? Do you know the men?
They are names that have been alleged. So please, if you allow me to finish, then you can ask me the next question. Her campaign is not hinged on violence. Everybody that knows me knows that I am not violent. I'm a very humble person, very God-fearing. I don't need these things in my campaign. So please, I'm pleading that whatever scores they have to settle with him, they should wait after our elections. There are so many places they can go to have
Mr. Bannerman, we do understand. You've made the point that you're a peaceful person, but I just want to find out from you the names of the people he mentioned. Do you know them? You just said they defected from the NDC to the MPP. Do you know them? Do they work with the National Security Secretariat?
He's talking about them. None of them is a national security operator.
All right, okay.
None of them.
Okay, we'll leave it here for now. But thank you so much for your time. Nii Lanteh Bannerman is MP aspirant on the ticket of the NPP for the Ododo constituency. We're just hearing his side of the story to that incident that occurred sometime last night around 11 p.m. involving the MP for the area, Nii Lanteh Vanderpoel, who we heard earlier.